Clay transfers allow you to quickly and easily add dramatic designs and flourishes to all of your clay projects. The sheets are 6 3/4 by 5 1/2, which is a great size for jewelry making or even larger home decor pieces. They come in 2 different sets. There's the geometric and the botanicals, and in each set you get 4 different patterns to choose from. In the botanicals we have bold blooms, cottage floral, tropical, and modern floral. And in the geometrics we have scribbles, swirls, dots, and deco fans. Let's take a look at using these easy transfer sheets. So I've got a little sheet of white Primo here on my work surface, and I've put it through the pasta machine. I'm going to burnish it to my work surface and make sure it's really flat. Then I want to bring in my desired transfer sheet. This is the bold blooms, and I want to cut it to fit the clay. Now a good tip is to get rid of these white edges. The reason I do that is if I'm working on a larger project, I don't want white edge to end up in my transfer area. You can always draw a shape on the back of these with pencil as well because it's a paper backing. Next, I'm going to cut my transfer sheet to match the size of my clay. Because in this project I'll do a step and repeat of various shapes. Okay, next we want to attach the transfer sheet to the clay. So do it face down. First I'll use fingertips to burnish it. Make sure it's not going to slip and slide around. Then I'll use my roller to make sure there's no air between the transfer sheet and the clay. Alright, now we need some water. I've got a little sponge brush and a water basin. You can use a regular sponge or paper towel or a rag. And right away you'll see that the image from the transfer is coming through the paper backing. I'm getting it good and wet, really shiny wet. Alright, we want to let that set for at least 3 minutes so that the transfer can really take hold of the clay. So I'm going to set this one out of the way and bring in one that I've already had for at least 3 minutes. Alright, I can see by the edges here I've got a little bit of the transfer showing, and that tells me that it's really stuck well. I am going to use a needle tool just to help me lift a corner. So let's start here. And now it's important to lift and not pull. Don't drag across the image. You want to lift straight up and discard the paper backing. If you have excess water on your work surface, you can dab that up. I'm not going to dab over the top of the image, but I am going to work around the edges. Alright, now we're ready to cut. And you can cut right through the transfer sheet along with the clay, making it a perfect cut where the transfer matches the clay shape. Use any of your favorite cutters and line it up for limited waste. Push all the way down to the work surface, and at the bottom give a little wiggle just like you would even if their transfer wasn't there. You can use different sizes and different shapes from the same sheet. Just line up your cutters for minimum waste. Once you've got the sheet all cut, use your favorite tool to lift the cut pieces and then save your scrap for more projects. Now your piece is ready. You can add holes with your favorite hole making tool so that you can later assemble into earrings or necklace pieces, whatever it is that you want to make. I also like to burnish the edges of the clay with my fingertip to make sure they're super smooth. That's ready to bake as you would for the base clay. So in this case, I'm using Primo White. I would bake at 30 minutes at 275. Once the piece comes out and it's completely cool, you can seal them if you wish with glossy or satin glaze, but you don't have to. The image is permanent on top of the clay. Then just assemble however you want to finish your pieces.